Well, hey, Vic, it's Jamithatsme here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, quite a few of you guys have asked me to do a review on Real Housewives of Miami. So here we are, honey. Y'all are about to get a review on episodes 1 through 3. Okay. Now, if you're wondering how you can watch it, go ahead and check out Peacock. Okay. And get into the conversation. Now, let's go ahead and get into this review. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and dive right on into these things. So first things first, we meet two cast members that I'm unfamiliar with, as this is my first time watching Real Housewives of Miami, okay? We have Alexia and Marisol, okay? So they're headed to link up with all of the rest of the ladies. That's a part of the cast, but it's one lady we did not get to meet until a later time, which happens to be like Guerdy. And I think we met Guerdy in like the second episode, along with like Nicole. So I think we met some of the other ladies in the second episode, right? So what was interesting was the fact that I thought these were some good white women, and come to find out they over here speaking Spanish and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, these ladies is not white. These ladies is something else. They got something else in their blood. Oh, okay, then got you noted. Anyway, so we get to Marisol. Marisol is recently married, so congrats to her. I know they brought up her mom and how her mom was around at one point, and then she, ended up passing away, and shortly after that, she ended up meeting, her husband or whatever. So, congrats to Marisol. Now, when it comes to Larsa, child, Larsa decided she's gonna pop up and hang out with the girls. She a little late. They start doing flashbacks of Larsa, and she looks like completely different than what she did before. Two totally different people. I'm cringing. I hate it. All right. She has this Kardashian aesthetic, a Kardashian style, whatever she got going on, girl, is mimicking the Kardashians. All right. And I hate to see it, but okay. We learned that Larsa is actually still going through her divorce. Meanwhile, I think Adriana already went through her divorce. But Larsa used to be married to Scottie Pippen. Okay, so they're going through their divorce, and she got some things she's having to work out. But at the end of the day, it's not going to stop her from having her hot girl summer party at the house. So she's going to be inviting the ladies out to do that, and that's where they are. Now, speaking of Adriana. Now, what we learned is that she just got a divorce, right? What else did she say? What else did she say? Oh, it's just that she just ended up getting this divorce or whatever. When it came down to Larsa said, because they were having a conversation about the divorce, right? It was just that, Adriana didn't get a divorce. I mean, she's gotten her divorce, but when it comes to Larsa speaking on her divorce, she said that things between she and Scottie just didn't work out. And I was thinking to myself that, girl, it probably didn't work out because you started to adopt this whole Kardashian look that you got going on. Okay, so I don't know what that was about, but all right then, Larsa. So Larsa was asked about her OnlyFans account because Larsa is doing OnlyFans, girl. That's what she's doing. She's over here doing OnlyFans, and she says that the posts that she put on OnlyFans are really the same posts that she puts on her IG page. The only difference is that she's getting paid. Okay, then, Larsa, girl, I guess if that's what you wanna do. She says that when she goes to OnlyFans, though, because those people are paying her, she does talk to them more. She DMs more than she does on Instagram. She also goes on to say that she makes $10,000 a day. That's possible, depending on what she charging people to be a part of her community over there on OnlyFans. I don't think that is impossible, just because I may be like, girl, ain't nobody paying, 10,000 a day. But at the same time, girl, we don't know what these people out here are willing to pay for. Hello? We don't know what these people out here spending their money on, which ain't nothing but a piece of change to them. So I don't know. I mean, if she's charging the right price, she got the right amount of people, she probably is making maybe 10,000 a day, girl. I guess. But all right then. I mean, it do seem like it's an exaggerated number when you multiply that by how many days of the month it is. So that means you make it about $30,000 to $31,000 a month on OnlyFans. Oh, okay. But at the same time, I will say this. I would not be surprised now that I think about it, because she was at some point connected to the Kardashians. So people was going to follow her off general purpose because of her connection to the Kardashians. So they probably decided to sign up for her stuff as well. So, I mean, it is what it is, girl. I guess get your coin, honey. Let's go and move on to Alexia, because we learned that she divorced her husband. And once she divorced her husband, he ended up passing away like a year after that, right? So she says that there were rumors about him being gay, but she never got any signs. Right, right. Right. You didn't get any, so right. So no, you didn't want to see the signs, especially in episode 3 when you revealed what you revealed about your daddy. Right. You didn't see any signs. Okay, Alexia. Anyway, but she now has a new fiance, and I believe his name is Todd. And I actually like Todd. I think Todd is handsome. Okay. So far, they look cute. We're gonna see what they're gonna be giving. All right. The condo, everything. The way she backed that, what was that Range Rover into that spot, and the garage in the I guess the little whatever area. Okay, she pulled into a garage, and then the doors came down, and it was giving steel. Those doors look like steel doors. I said, "Oh, girl, oh, this house, this condo. That's what I'm talking about. You talking about a condo, girl? It need to be looking like that because it was giving. It looked really nice. What else do we have? She has a son. One of her sons, I can't think of his name. I think it's Frankie, maybe her son. And she may talk about that. I probably wrote a note about that where she talks about that a bit more. But Frankie ended up having like some type of accident that kind of left him in a hospital for quite some time. So he had to like relearn a lot of things. So she's very overprotective of that young boy. What else? She also talked about her oldest son, Peter. Peter was giving in them photos, honey. I said, is that what Peter looked like when he was younger? Girl, what is Peter looking like now? Okay. Now we did get a chance to see Peter, honey, but I want Peter to go back and get his facial hair back on his face. But Peter ain't a bad looking kid. But anyway, I mean, I think he's in his like 20s or whatever. But anyway, so we come to find out that her fiance and Peter are not on good terms, and we're gonna learn more about that in episode 2 as to why they're not on good terms. So there's that. Let's move on. At first, I will say this. At first, I was thinking they weren't on good terms as it pertained to real estate, because she did talk about how her son worked for him at one point. So I was like, was it that he didn't want to close any deals? He couldn't close some deals or something. He was struggling, and maybe he couldn't hold his weight. So the man was like, oh, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So I was wondering if it was that, but girl, what she ended up telling me, I was not expecting. Okay. Or at least not telling me, but what she was telling the girls, I wasn't expecting it. Lisa. Okay. Lisa is giving Larsa. Lisa is definitely giving Larsa with the big lips, the breast. I don't think she went and got a Larsa booty, right? But she's definitely giving Larsa, but a prettier version to me. Okay, I think Lisa's very pretty. I feel like Lisa didn't really need the work, but wanted to go and get the work because she wanted to have big lips or whatever like that, and maybe the cheekbones. But I was like, all right then, okay then, girl. But anyway, so she talked about how she and her man have struggled to have kids over the past few years. Now I forgot how long they've been together. I feel like it's been over 5 years. And it was a struggle for her to get pregnant. So they had those issues on top of him confiding and having some type of emotional connection to another woman, even though she says that she don't know if they went further. So right now she's only focused on the fact that he had an emotional connection with another woman. I don't know if he cheated or not, but to some people that's cheating enough, okay? Because she called it an emotional affair, right? So he had that with somebody else. So they've had their ups and downs, but they managed to like come back together after she left him. Now, once she left him, he got his act together. They came back together. She ended up having a child, and I think they only have like one child together. So there's that. Later on, we can see where Larsa, she decides to have this kickback. And actually, I'm lying. I think we met Guerdy in this first episode. I think we met Guerdy in this episode, but we learned more about Guerdy in the second episode because I believe she ended up coming to that party. Yes, Guerdy ended up showing up to that party where we meet, new people. That's when we met Guerdy, who's an event planner. She says she and her husband were high school sweethearts, and now he's a firefighter. Nicole, who's an anesthesiologist, and her man is actually an attorney, but she says that they aren't married, but she refers to him as her husband. She calls him her husband, but they're not married, but they do have a child together, so that's her baby daddy. Okay, girl, so then we get to Julia. What we learned about Julia is that Julia, I guess she lives on a farm, or she works on a farm, or she's isolated by way of the farm or something. But Julia has 2 kids, but she also has a wife as well. Okay, so there's that. Now, the more Adriana gets in the confessional, she loves to talk about Larsa's body. And it was given, girl, are you jealous? Okay, because that's how it's coming off. It's coming off as though you're bothered. Now, I'm cringing for sure. Okay, don't get me wrong. But the way she kept referencing it was like, okay, do you want to get your body done or something? And later on, as we continue to watch the show, it seems like that's what she was saying. Like, bro, I wouldn't mind going to get my body done. Larsa gonna have her a little bit of competition. Y'all, I'm not too sure about Adriana. I don't want to go on record and say that I don't like her, being that this is like my first time watching the show. But I got my eye on you, Miss Adriana, because I don't really like how you move. I don't like how you move, girl. I feel like you're gonna be a problem this season. But anyway, let's keep going, okay? Now the ladies start to argue at the party over the OnlyFans situation and what they feel is right versus what's not right. Okay. And I just feel like, girl, whatever. If that's somebody's cup of tea, it is what it is. If it ain't my cup of tea, that's okay too. It's okay to feel how you feel, have two different opinions. Okay. If she want to go off and make her money on OnlyFans and you feel like the only way for you to make your money is to sit up here and be somebody's wife and make money off of that man's back, then okay. See, a lot of people don't agree with that lifestyle either, but it don't stop y'all from clinking up with these men. Okay, clinking up with these men that got all these coins, and then y'all just stand back there chilling, collecting their checks and stuff, right? But ain't nobody saying that about that, but all right, yeah, bro, I guess. All right, so let Larsa do whatever she gonna do. I hate that they made OnlyFans the focal point. I said, girl, let us go into the rest of the season, which y'all not talking about OnlyFans. Okay, so it is what it is. Now Larsa gonna do what she want to do anyway, girl, I guess. All right. Anyway, so Kiki happens to be the friend, another black woman on the show that happens to be the friend to Guerdy. Right. So when they're out there talking and stuff, Kiki asks Julia, because Julia works on a farm, she asked her about milking goats. And she asked if she milks the goats with her mouth. First of all, what the hell kind of question is that? Do you milk the goats with your mouth? Who does that? All right. So then Marisol thought that it was a dumbass question. And I'm with Marisol, like that was a bit stupid. Like, who says that? And then Marisol goes on to say that, yeah, they do that in porn. And I said, they do what in porn? They do what in PORN? What do they do over there? Because I ain't never seen nor heard. And now what kind of motherfucking PORN is y'all over there watching? Because, man, matter of fact, don't even tell me, save it. I don't even want to know, because that don't even sound good right there, right out the back. Girl, y'all over here abusing animals and stuff. I ain't got time. But anyway, let's move on. So Nicole says Nicole says that she isn't open to marriage because she believes it messes up relationships. This is when the ladies asked Dr. Nicole, who happens to be the anesthesiologist, her thoughts about marriage, considering the fact that she's been with this man for so long, has a child with him, and they have yet to get married. She just feels like it messes up relationships, right? Her husband wants to sell their home, but she isn't ready. Okay, she's not ready to sell the home for whatever reason. She's not ready to give up, but I think that home gonna end up getting sold, period. Now Alexia wants to know if her ex-husband was dating a gay man, because girl, the rumor has it is that Alexia's husband, he died because he was over there, he was scamming his rich ass nigga. That's what it was giving. Okay, so he was over there laid up with somebody, child, one of his lovers, doing whatever it is that he do when he ended up dying. Okay, so that's been the rumors of the streets. It's also been the rumors of the streets that he's a longtime gay. And, she's acting like she never knew anything about it. Okay, so now at this point, she kind of wants to link up with the guy that was rumored to be with her man or dating her man or one of his lovers or his only lover. She wants to talk to this guy. So anyway, so Lisa on a date with her husband, and she catches Larsa over there on a date of her own. And we learned that when it comes to Lisa and her guy, she talks about how they've been through a lot, and that's when I opened up earlier to tell y'all about how she had the emotional affair, or he had the emotional affair on his wife. So there's that. We get to Guerdy, okay, and this is when we learn more about Miss Guerdy. Guerdy's husband actually is a white man. They met in high school, as it was said. Okay, they have two adorable sons, and she's a workaholic. With her being an event planner, it makes sense. It makes up for her kids. Just watching the demeanor of her oldest son, I don't know if she gets a lot of time in with him, because that little boy looked like he was like, "Oh, mom, you're doing too much. Get away from me." But maybe that's like how teens are, whatever. Anyway, moral of the story is she's a workaholic, so she isn't home enough for her sons, and that was said out of her own mouth. So there's that. We get to Adriana and Julia. So I think it was Adriana's idea. So let me go back. Julia's wife does art. She does great art. Okay, not just art. She does a great job with her art. Her art looked good. I was like, oh, girl, these pieces, girl. But I can't. I ain't got the coins that you looking for, girl. But anyway, Adriana kind of came up with a plan to like set up some type of art show where she can help her get those things sold. Now, what we're learning is that Adriana and Julia are like best friends. But what I did not like was how Adriana was slick trying to come on to Julia, and it kind of made me feel like a little awkward. Like Julia was kind of like flirting back a little bit, but like, girl, you need to calm down and chill out, which also makes me think, have y'all already messed around with each other, considering the fact that y'all is best friends, girl? Because it's giving a little weird. It's giving awkwardness. Okay. So, like I said, so they're pulling out paintings for Julia's wife, but I couldn't help but notice that Adriana was flirting with Julia. Okay. So I just felt like she needed to leave that lady wife alone. But let's go ahead and move on. So Alexia and Todd, we learned that her son used to work with Todd, but some things ended up not working out. And now she feels like things are falling apart. And I believe Todd does real estate, is what she said. So there's that. Then we get to Guerdy again. Guerdy links up with Alexia because she's planning the wedding. But what we learn is that Alexia has yet to talk to her son about being a part of her wedding. She wants him to actually walk her down the aisle. And I don't think he's gonna be down for that. And that's what it looked like. That's the direction he's going. Like, girl, I'm not gonna be over here partaking in this bull that you got going on. Okay. So there's that. Now, Alexia goes to meet with her son, and she wants him to walk her down the aisle, but he ain't interested. Okay, so basically what we learned is that there was a heated argument that happened between her son Peter and her fiance Todd. Now Peter, because of that argument, he's turned off from Todd. He don't want to have nothing to do with it. He's over it. I'm out. Okay. Now he says he may not even be in town anyway for the wedding because the wedding is taking place so close to his birthday. So he's probably not even gonna be in town because I think she wants both of her sons to walk her down the aisle and give her away. But it don't look like this gonna end up happening, but we're gonna have to see. Now we get to Kiki and Marisol. Now mind y'all, Kiki and Marisol had that exchange about the whole milking of the goats and using one's mouth. And Marisol felt like that was a dumb question. And Kiki was like, that's not a dumb question, girl. I'm asking because I really don't know. Why do you think I'm asking that question or whatever? So they had like a minor issue. So they sat down and they had a conversation, and Marisol wanted her to know that she has no issue with her. And Kiki tells her, that like, girl, I apologize, if I said anything wrong, but I just want you to know that it really had nothing to do with you. Like, I had a lot going on. I just broke off my engagement and stuff like that. So Marisol offers her help and says that, we're good. Like, we can make amends. We're good. If you need anything, you need to confide in somebody, like, I'm here for you or whatever. So that's how they ended the situation. Now, later on, the ladies surround Anthony. And that's Nicole's alleged husband, or whatever she like to call him. And they asked him about marrying Nicole. And he says, they're content with their situation. But the ladies don't believe it. And I'm like, y'all gonna have to believe it because everybody don't want that, right? Everybody don't want that. And then some people want to be married but don't want to live in the same house as that person because they, like stuff a certain way or whatever. Like, everybody got their own stuff. But okay. But my only thing that I'll have an issue with Nicole, not so much as her not wanting to be married, but if you genuinely don't, then stand in that. But don't say it if you know deep down that it is something that you do want. Okay, so that's the only thing, and I feel like that's a decision for her to make and not for nobody else to try and pressure them into, because it doesn't meet their normalness, right? So there's that. Now, Alexia, she's telling the ladies about Frankie and her son. Okay, so this is where we really learn stuff, okay? So Alexia is telling the ladies about a time when Peter had some, some of that good Mary, and he allowed his brother with his condition to smoke on it. I don't know if he thought he was probably trying to heal some of his brother issues, because they like to say that stuff is like medicine, right? So what ended up happening was his brother Frankie ended up smoking more than he was supposed to be smoking. So because of that, he kind of went into this, he went into this phase to where I don't know if his body was shutting down, but but Alexia said that her son, Frankie, had to be brought back to life, because at first Peter wasn't paying attention to how much he was smoking. So that is definitely on Peter's, fault. Peter wasn't paying attention to how much his brother was smoking. So the boy ended up smoking too much, had to get put into the hospital, and had to be brought back to life. So she started to freak out and she started to go crazy. And that's what caused her husband, her fiance Todd, to go off on her son. And I'm like, okay, got it. So this is what we learned. She says that Todd said that Peter is a loser. This is what this man said about this woman child. You're a loser, and he's going to be just like his father. What was it about his father? How dare you speak on somebody's child and they daddy that done passed away or whatever? Like what? And then he went on to say that Herman, okay, the dead daddy, done left him enough money to do nothing with his life. I feel like this, and ain't you gonna leave your daughters more than enough to do nothing with their life if that's something that you want to do? How you gonna fault him for his circumstances because his daddy left him money? Ain't that's what the generational wealth for? If he got the money to do nothing with his life, then that's just on him. Now, if he go out and have some kids, you would think that he want to make sure that generational wealth continues to go out. But he doesn't have that same situation. Like he ain't got no kids or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, that could be just where he is in this moment. It doesn't mean it has to be where he's going to be forever. So, excuse me, Ms. Y. Excuse me, Ms. Y. So, you know, I wasn't featuring that at all. I feel like he was out of line. I also feel like the daddy was I'm sorry, the stepdad, soon to be stepdad, the fiance. I feel like that's how he always felt about her son. I do. I think that's how he always felt about her son, but he just used this opportunity as a way to really lash out and say what it is that he really wanted to say to that boy, knowing that all this time he probably never really cared for him based on his actions and how he treated his, probably treated, his mom and stuff like that. Because even what's her name, Alexia mentioned and opened up about her son's past, and with his past, she said that he just kind of like had like a bad attitude. He was going through a lot of stuff or whatever like that, but he ended up getting his life together, and then he moved overseas to be with his wife or something like that. So now he about to go through a divorce. So I guess since he got back, I don't know what he's been going through. I guess it was like when he recently came back that he got his little brother high. Little brother took on more than he can handle. So it resulted in the stepdad or whatever going off on him. So there's that. She says that she doesn't know if she can marry him if him and her son don't go ahead and resolve their issues. Okay, I can't fault her on that if she don't want to marry that man, because if you're gonna have respect for me, you're gonna have to have respect for my kids. Okay, this situation really did not have a whole lot to do with you. I could have handled it as a mom, but I don't know. Maybe he needed that manly, tough love or something like that, girl. I don't know. Y'all leave y'all thoughts about the situation regarding Alexia's husband or fiance and her son. Do you feel like he was out of line? Do you feel like he has a right to like snap up on her son? Like, I want to hear your thoughts down below, okay? Larsa. Oh, and I also feel like her fiance should be the one to lead the charge on that conversation and the apology, considering the fact that he was the one that said the most harshest things about her son and to her son. Okay, so you need to be the adult in the situation and lead that charge. Now, Larsa asked the women about pearls. She was like, "Have y'all ever heard about men putting pearls in the women or something like that?" And I'm like, "Putting the pearls in the women and where? Put the pearls where? Where they going? Girl, don't put nothing up me that may get stuck. Period. It will not be up and it's stuck with me. No, ma'am. I'm not for that. All that kinky stuff y'all be over there doing. No, ma'am." And then somebody brought up putting bees in the arse. I said, not y'all putting bees in the arse. Like, I understand. I heard that before, that's what people do. But again, I'm not finna deal with none of that, girl. We not finna just be putting objects up. No, ma'am. Okay. Anyway, that's everybody. Y'all, hey, if that's what y'all want to do, though, do y'all thing. Right. So then Alexia starts to speak on cock rings and being in the bedroom, and she feels like they're used because what she said, something about people have changed. I guess the I don't know, the sexiness or something. She said something about the cock rings. All I thought about when I heard cock rings was, girl, I feel like people use those cock rings because they struggling to get it up for real. And they need all that blood flow to go right on down to where it need to be so they can stay where they need to stay. So that's what I think it is, okay? So I don't think that's sexy or anything about it for real, but if some people like it, okay, cool. But I just feel like y'all struggling with men. So there's that. Let's move on. Julia speaks on being bisexual and how she loves her wife, but she looks at other people. I bet you do. because you damn sure was smiling in Adriana's face. But let's keep going. So Alexia is receiving an award for being an ally to the LGBTQ community, and she found out about her dad actually being gay after he passed away, which is crazy to me because many years later you ended up marrying a man that was possibly gay. Now her mama kept this information from her because she didn't want that, I don't know, the stigma at that time or whatever to follow her daughter. So she kind of kept that from her. Now Alexia says, Adriana go bust out and start talking about Alexia's ex-husband or dead ex-husband. It says, oh yeah, so I heard that he died when he was on top of somebody or some silly like that. And it's like, why would you say that in this moment? Why would you bust out and say something like that? Girl, I guess, honey, but I loved Alexia's response. Alexia said, okay, and if that's the case, girl, then that's how I want to die too, girl. Yeah, let me die on top of a man, period. So, I felt like when she said that, though, when Alexia said it, I was like, oh, that was a great comeback. But girl, be careful. Be careful what you say out your mouth, and it just might get it. But let's keep going. So Larsa meets with her realtor. She needs help selling her home, right? So when he comes in, what we're learning is that the money for the house, she's going to end up splitting with Scotty. So they both going to get the money. Now, the agent walks through the home and he sees what's up because he needs to know what's going on because the home is listed for $12 million, but he wants to go up. Scotty wants to go up by an extra $2 million, making the home $14 million. And he's like, I need to see what y'all got going on up in here as to why this property should be sold for $14 million. So he walks around as a good agent should, and he notices certain things that needs to be upgraded. And I agree with him 1000%. You're gonna have to upgrade some of this stuff, ma'am. You just can't, like, how you gonna have a all-white home on the outside, then when we walk in, the lighting isn't great, and then you got this brown wood and stuff throughout the home. I just disagree with that. Usually when I see white homes all on the outside, when I walk in the inside, the lighting is bright and beautiful, and most of the time the home is white within itself. So she definitely, and her and Scotty gonna have to invest in that home before they really put it on the market. Now, I wouldn't fix every single thing. Know that, because that's the job of the person that want to come in. Like, if you want to come in and get this house, all right, then you can make some other changes. But if I got to go in and make some changes, I know one thing, the home won't be available for $14 million. It's probably going to be available for 15 or 16 by the time I'm done doing the changes that I need to do. Okay, so there's that. Later on, we get with Guerdy and Alexia. Guerdy kind of favors Amina from Love and Hip Hop to me, right? Guerdy brings up Adriana's response, just bringing up this lady's business in front of everybody, talking about her ex-husband being gay and how he died or whatever like that. And, she felt like Alexia handled it well, which I think she did too. So then they also go on to talk about the wedding planning. And what I'm learning is that Alexia really ain't got nothing in order. She don't know the venue. She don't know if she's going to get married inside or outside. Like, it's a lot of details that she don't know. She ain't got no officiant. Like, she just ain't got it all together. And I really think that she ain't got it all together because of her fiance and her son. Right. So that's what I think it's all about. I don't know what she got going on, but there's that. Lisa and Nicole. So they link up together with their kids and their nannies. Okay. So they speak to they go and they step off to the side, and Nicole tells Lisa about being with the guy that she's with for 5 years, but also speaking on the fact that, they're not married, and she's okay with that because it's not that she doesn't want to be married. It's just that marriage is not a priority for her at this time. So she's okay and she's cool with things the way that they are. But we kind of learn more things about Nicole. Nicole talks about her dad and how her dad was in the household when she was younger, but he ended up getting arrested on money laundering and conspiracy charges or something like that, right? So everything that they had ended up being seized. So they went from a pretty good lifestyle to like a struggle lifestyle. Her mother was the one that was there to like keep everything together. But watching her mom struggle the way that she did, and kind of also watching her mom trying to not make them so aware of what was happening with their dad, you know what I'm saying? Not really cluing them in on everything, but also trying to make sure they have the best life that they can possibly have. Because of that, she made a commitment to herself that she'll never struggle in the same capacity in which her mom has struggled. So I also feel like that's one of the reasons why she probably don't want to get married, because she didn't witness a good thing. And it also makes me wonder, is your husband into some scandalous stuff which makes you not want to get married to him or something like that? Or what is it? What's going on? I don't know. Maybe her main thing is that her mom just depended so heavily on her dad, and then when all of that was gone, her mama had nothing. So she doesn't want to be in that position. And I don't know. I don't know how that fully relates to her not wanting to be married, though. You know, I mean, the ultimate thing is that she just feels like it's going to ruin relationships. So, okay, cool. I mean, you may have a point. You may not, girl. I don't know. But either way, honey, good luck. Let's go ahead and move on. So, Marisol and Kiki. So they come over to Alexia's house later on that day, and y'all know Alexia is trying to meet up with Herman's ex-lover, so she wants to talk to him. So she sit the ladies down to let them know that, listen, I got a chance to talk to X, Y, and Z, and they said that he'll be available for us to sit down and chat. So, you know, when we had this chat, I'm going to come back and tell y'all what was up. So she just invited them over there for that. Now, later on, Adriana comes to the party, the art show. And it was crazy for me with this art show because the art show was definitely giving party. The art show was not giving art show. Okay, it seemed like people was there to drink, people was there to socialize, have a great time. It just so happens to be cute art on the wall. And I feel like she should have made it an auction. Okay, and you should have invited more than just your family and friends there. Okay, you should have made it an auction. And then once you go through the auction and stuff like that, maybe somewhere in the back area we'll have where you guys can go and do happy hour and all this other stuff or whatever. And then we'll tell you guys who won which art. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the night, like that's what I feel they should have did, because this really was giving a whole party, and I felt like a lot of people that came to this art show wasn't really trying to spend the money for real. Everybody was talking about how they wanted a deal and all this other stuff. And it's like, girl, we in a whole pandemic. I can't afford much of a deal. Okay. I probably can give you 1% off, honey, but anything more than that, girl, I'm trying to get my coins just like you, honey. So do you want this art or you don't want it? What's up? All right. So I guess, I don't think Adriana did a great job with planning that, but okay. So she shows up with one of her boyfriends. So she's like, one of the guys she's dating, Jacob. Jacob can get it. Jacob can get it. Jacob looked good. Okay. Now, what she talks about is the fact that she makes all of her guys wait 4 months before she crosses the sexual line with them. And I'm like, I guess that's okay, but is it just because you want to make sure they're not there because of sex? Because at the end of the day, they still don't stick around. So what is it? You came out better just put them on the first night. Let me not say that. Girl, do what you want to do. That's your cootie toi, okay? And that's your life. Let's go on. So Adriana, No. So when Adriana takes her guy Jacob over to meet Julia, I noticed that Julia kind of caught eye and thought he looked good too. Julia, you weren't, girl. You weren't hiding in for me, honey, because I saw it. But she tried to disguise it and say that she was disappointed in Adriana for not telling her that she was dating somebody or even bringing a date, considering the fact that she's supposed to be her best friend. But then Adriana feels like Julia is being jealous. And I'm like, that lady is not jealous. I don't think she's jealous too much for real, but that's what she said. Julia said, girl, I'm more annoyed than I am motherfucking jealous, because what ended up happening was Adriana invited 2 dates. Some dude named Theory or something like that. So she invited Jacob, and then she invited another dude. And why would you do that at your friend's event? I don't know what Adriana got going on, but you want to walk around to everybody and brag and talk about, yeah, I got 2 dates. Yeah, they both look good, because you know what I'm saying? I don't do mediocre. Meanwhile, standing up there looking mediocre. Girl, I can't. You can't make this stuff up, girl. I don't do mediocre. Like, yeah, they look good. But then as soon as you bring them to the other ladies, and you introduce Theory to like Larsa says, hi, yeah, so how long have you guys been dating? And then Adriana said, girl, don't do that. So she leaned in to cover his face or whatever. She's like, don't do that, honey, okay? Don't be over here asking questions, girl. Just say hello and shut up. Like, you ain't got to do all that. And Larsa was like, oh, girl, okay. Embarrassing. So what else? Yeah, I talked about that because I felt like everybody was over here just pretty much looking at the art, but nobody was really trying to buy it. I think that Nicole's partner came back around and said that he wanted to buy something, but I don't know if he fully went through, so we'll see. Yeah, I talked about how it's giving art show. I talked about Adriana and how she brought a guy, and I ain't really like that. Nicole is confused about the date because she thinks it's more. Oh, yes. Nicole is confused about the 2 dates that Adriana brought, because she felt like, girl, you're more into women than you are into men. And I said, okay. Now, Julia is feeling a way about Adriana bringing 2 dates. And I told y'all why she felt annoyed by the fact that she would do that at her wife's party. And I'm like, I understand that you're mad about the 2 dates, and I feel you on that. But at the same time, I feel like you should also be mad about the fact that it looks like it's a party in there versus it being an actual art show. You should have put your stuff up for auction. Okay. That's what I think. And then may the best person win, like a silent auction. And then once y'all done at a later time, we're going to let y'all hang out for about 2 hours over here doing the auction, or an hour. Then after that, we're going to finish off over here in the cocktail room or whatever. Like, that's what she could have did. But okay. What else? I think that Adriana really wants Julia. The fact that she would sit up there and be like, are you jealous? Like, no, but you are. That's why you be over there flirting with that lady. And I see why, because when they got ready to go to the art show, what's her name? Mar something. I forgot her wife's name. Is it Marlene? I can't remember what Julia's wife's name is. But her wife was sitting up there like, girl, why your breast out? And first of all, her breast wasn't even out like that. You were making it much of a bigger deal than what it really was. Okay, you're giving controlling or something. But at the same time, I started thinking like, maybe she liked that because she know her wife is a big flirt. Okay, so that's probably what it is. And it made me wonder whether or not you fully trust your wife. That's what it was also giving me. So yeah, then you got Adriana, that's her alleged best friend. But knowing that Adriana wants your wife. And it's going to be so funny because coming up on the next episode, we're going to see where Julia then messed around and gave Adriana a foot massage. And then her wife going to be upset. And she's going to be wondering like, girl, what was going on that required you to receive a foot massage from my wife? So yeah, it's some sneaky stuff going on, girl. Ooh, honey. But yeah, so next thing you know, we're going to see where Alexia is going to meet up with Herman. Looks like they talked for about 4 hours. So I'm looking forward to hearing what she finds out from not Herman. I'm sorry, he passed, but his ex-lover. I'm looking forward to hearing what she found out about Herman's ex-lover. Okay. But that's all I got, y'all. Y'all go ahead, get into the review, honey. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, honey. Join the Discord so you can be up to date on the videos and things that I put out. Okay. So you got all of that going on. And yeah, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamithatsme. That's all I got. I'm Jamithatsme. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.